Welcome back to the channel, guys. My name is Gene Edwards. You are watching Lube for April the 10th, 2023, as we enter the final week of the 22-23 National Hockey League season. And still a lot to be decided. As the Oilers will head into their final two games, they potentially could win the division title. But they will definitely not finish lower than second, which means the Oilers have clinched home ice advantage for the first round at least. Question is, who will they be playing? So I'm going to be tuning into a few of these games tonight. I believe Seattle and LA are playing tonight, so it's going to be interesting games there. Yeah, this is going to be, it's going to go down right to the final minute of the season. For all the teams to be decided on who will play who and how. Because the Oilers could still end up playing Winnipeg, I think. I don't know if Calgary's still in the hunt. I think they're pretty much done. But, I mean, there's Winnipeg. They could play Seattle. They could play LA. Like, those are pretty much the three teams that they could play. I'm leaning it towards being LA. It's more of a likelihood that they're going to meet LA. But you never know what happens in the next two games for both of these teams. So a lot could happen. Vegas does have I think they play Seattle twice too as well. So there's a lot that can go on. So we don't know exactly what is going on. But we do know that the Edmonton Oilers will play the Central Division leading Colorado Avalanche tomorrow with a record of 49-24-6 for 104 points in the Central. Now, it was just a few short months ago, I think it was back in December, I was looking at it, and Colorado were on the outside looking in. They weren't even in a playoff position. I'm like, ooh, could the Stanley Cup champions actually miss the playoffs? However, they did manage to bounce back with authority and now have the Central Division title pretty much for the year. So they managed to come back really quickly. They are very banged up, and I'm going to get into that shortly. Oilers, red hot Oilers, 9-0-1 in their last 10. Probably one of the best teams in the league. I think they are right now, since the All-Star break, the best team in the league since that time frame. Now, I know Boston has done some remarkable things. In fact, they broke an NHL all-time win record yesterday by achieving 61 wins, I believe it was. So we know Boston is lethal as well. But, man, the Oilers have been looking super, super good. As far as the lineups go, there is a few changes going into tomorrow and that are not actually listed on this chart. Because this was dated April the 8th by Tony Brouwer. Jason Demers is going to draw out, and he is going back to Bakersfield, and it sounds like Ryan McLeod is drawing in. So my guess is Ryan McLeod is going to center that fourth line, and they're going to move Derek Ryan over to the wing. That's just my guess. What Tony Brouwer had listed for this one is he had Nuge with McDavid and Hyman, Evander Kane with Draisaitl and Yamamoto, Kostin with Bjugstad and Janmark, and then Warren Foegele with Derek Ryan and Jason Demers. We know that is definitely going to change as far as the Jason Demers aspect, as Ryan McLeod will draw back in. For defensive pairings, Darnell Nurse with Vinny Desharnais, Matthias Ekholm with Evan Bouchard, and Brett Kulik with Philip Broberg. Now, I'm not sure if Cody Ceci is going to return and be in this game. If he is, I imagine Broberg will be drawn out and Ceci will fit in and probably pair up with Nurse. And then they'll just kind of draw those lines, because those lines have been a pretty good. But right now, Cody Ceci, not injured. He's just with family, awaiting the birth of his first child. I don't know if it has happened yet. If it has, I'm going to give my congratulations to you now. And if it hasn't, well, I'm going to give you my pre-congratulations there, Cody. Hopefully everything is going all good, and hopefully you're not a neurotic mess. Okay, let's get into the game within the game. Or no, sorry, the injuries. We're going to get into the injuries first. Colorado has been really fighting the injury bug all season long. Gabriel Landeskog, I think, got early in the season, got hurt. Francouz is out. Manson is out. Arturi Lehkonen is out. Darren Helm is out. Bowen Byron is out. And their Norris Trophy winning defenseman, Cale Makar, listed day-to-day. So that's a good thing, I guess. But if he was out, that's massive. Massive, because he's such a huge piece. As far as the Oilers go, it says Ryan McLeod is out, but I think it sounds like he's drawing back in tomorrow. So the only one is Cody Ceci, who is not injured. He's just dealing with the birth of his child, as I said. So, yeah, the Oilers are going into this, I got to knock on wood here, healthy. And let's hope that they stay healthy, because that's, as much as we say, oh, the Oilers look like they are strong enough, they're definitely a contender. There's a lot of teams that are contenders. It's the teams that survive, though, that I think is also one of the biggest reasons why they win Stanley Cups or endure the pain to get to that Stanley Cup. And that's why I've always thought of it as the greatest trophy in professional sports to win. I know a lot of you guys will say the World Cup, or you baseball fans, the World Series or whatnot. But the most grueling and grinding trophy, in my opinion, now I could be wrong, it's the Stanley Cup. Hands down, the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy to win. And you can say the Vince Lombardi trophy, you could say all these ones, but I just think the grind that it takes these players, an 82-game season, lots of travel, then they have to go through 4 rounds of a best-of-7 in the most intense and hitting thing. Anyway, I'm getting a little too off track here. The best trophy, so I'll leave it at that. When it comes to the game within the game, the last meeting, and it was back in January, I don't know the exact specific date, but I remember this game was absolutely frustrating, and that's the scorecard from the game here on the right there. This was one of those games that, as a fan, really, really, really frustrated me. Because this was one of those ones that the Oilers, the Oilers broke out to a 3-goal lead. And then the Avs slowly creaked back in. The Oilers would make it 4-2 on a Tyson Barrie goal. But they still would manage to lose this game in overtime. And it's one of those things, it's just like, can we not beat this team? So going back to last year, I believe they even lost one in the regular season just before the playoffs. So I think they're going now into about a 7-game losing streak against them. We need to snap that. If we want any chance at winning that Stanley Cup, more than likely we're going to have to go through Colorado at some point in time. Whether it's another Western Conference final or not, but we're going to probably have to meet up with Colorado again as they're starting to really get to form again going forward. As far as the game within, or sorry, not the game within the game, but tomorrow stats go, Colorado, to be honest with you, for them being a Central Division leading team, have very moderate stats. I mean, they're 5th on the power play. That's kind of a high point, but a lot of them are in the mid-range to even their face-offs, 28th in the face-off dot. This is a Central Division leading team, and they're 28th on the face-off dot. That's very surprising. The one huge stat that really stands out, though, is Alexander Georgiev has 5 shutouts this year. So the team is definitely either A, playing really, really well in front of him, or he's just lights out stunning good. And we know that Skinner is pretty good. He's actually, I'm hearing rumors he might be up for the Calder, which would be him for the Calder. Derek Ryan for the Masterton, I think, is being a potential nomination. And we know Connor's going to clean up in every other trophy that's out there, with the exception to the Norris and the Vezina. So, yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of hardware going to the Edmonton Oilers this year. Let's hope it's that big trophy, too. That would be very good. Okay, guys. Yeah, final week. Give me your thoughts on who you think is going to line up. Give me your thoughts on who you think is going to be the most intriguing playoff series. And we'll go forward from there. We'll see how things align this week. I'm going to be definitely watching some of these games tonight and tuning into like the Seattle game and the LA game. And I think Vegas plays tomorrow. Lots to talk about. Lots of good things. We will see what happens. Anyway, guys, if you are witnessing this channel for the very first time and like the content that I deliver and bring to you, feel free to hit that like, share, and subscribe button. And for the rest of you guys, as always, stay healthy, stay happy, and stay hydrated. I will see you post-game tomorrow night after the Avs game. Have a good night.
Don't wanna sleep in, cause I got something to prove. I gotta take what I hate and finally make a move. I think of you and all the shit you don't do. Well, I'ma make hella sure that I don't become you. I have no regrets, yeah, I'll tie up my chest. I'll never forget what it's like to be